Hey everyone, this month of January, I want to talk about different type of fittings around the mechanical installation industry, either in the refinery or commercial world. And this is going to be more to educate my followers and my customers about why we insulate and how to insulate and other details that involve depending on the fittings that you're using or the material that you're using. And today I would like to talk about the 45 lateral or Y. Other people call it 45 lateral or Y, right? What is a 45 lateral? A 45 lateral is a piping that enters another pipe the same size, equal 45 lateral, the same size piping on a 45-degree angle. Mainly, these are used to drainage system, sewer systems, or typically where the material, where the fluid flows on the piping to reduce turbulence or to prevent any clog on the piping itself, right? How common is on a refinery field? On the refinery field, it's not that common. I'll tell you what, out of my 11 years in experience in the refinery world, I only use this about, let's say, I think I only used this 4 times, metal it 4 or 5 times, right? So it's not that common, but it is good to know whenever you do run into it. In the commercial world, it's very common. You see this in on equal, right? So it's basically the same thing. On equal means that the pipe going into a 45 degree, into the other pipe is a different size than the one where it's going into. So it means that's an unequal 45 lateral. Why do we insulate fittings like this or other fittings familiar to this? The reason why we insulate is to reserve the energy of the equipment or help the lifespan of the equipment last longer, help protect the final product that goes through this here, and help maintain heat on that piping for everything to work pretty good. So meaning, let's say it's not insulated. That means the motor, the equipment that it takes, or the pumps that it takes to keep the temperature on that chemical correctly for it to be a good product by the end, you're wasting more energy on that equipment, right? You're not protecting the pipe from that temperature, meaning that the product's not going to come out good depending on the temperature, right? Or this gas, chemical, or fluids require different temperature in order to have a fine, good finished product at the end, right? So we insulate depending on how hot or how cold it gets. Now let's say we insulate this, right? Now what we're gonna do to protect the insulation? We got this 45 insulated. What we're gonna do to protect the insulation? We have to install sheet metal. If it's in an outdoor area, we have to install sheet metal. But what happens if the 45 comes on a horizontal or vertical position, right? It just depends which way is it, but most of the time it's gonna be waterproof, right? What about if you have a horizontal line like this, or like this, right? Or like this? You have to learn how to do the waterproof version sometime on the insulation or on the sheet metal itself. And there's steps to that, right? There's the non-waterproof version, which it don't require to be waterproof. Maybe you're inside the building, but there is the waterproof version if it is outside the building, or depending what position the 45 lateral is. And like I said, it's not that common. From 1 to 10, I think I'll give it probably about a 4, right? It's not that common. This shouldn't be your beginning pattern to learn. This should be probably, out of all the pattern, this should be like the 6 or 8 pattern you should learn eventually. But there are more common pattern out there you should learn first before you actually learn this one. So it's good to practice the pattern, like I said, and it's good to get a lot of information about a 45 lateral. And also, depending on the material you're going to use, it's good to learn how to lay out the 45 lateral and basically get your way around it, because you are going to see it at one point, and that one point it probably be too late to start learning it if you haven't learned it yet. So with that being said, thank you for learning more about this material, about the insulation, and thank you guys for following and supporting my channel in all platforms.